Hi, so this video is going to take you into something a little bit different. With my Ortongillingham practice, I found a book that gave me so many words and sentences that was an excellent tool to use with my students. But before I found that ABC of OG book, I found a book by Sheila Edmonds on Amazon, and it's a book called Literacy Leaders. I want to share this with you because you need to get it if you're working with young students. So many of the parents are throwing up their hands, not knowing what to do with their preschoolers, kindergarten kids who aren't ready to read, and first graders who aren't reading. I'm even finding students who don't know how to hold a pencil, and we need to start from the bottom and help all these kids read. So I'm going to share several ideas with you that I'm using with pre-readers so that I can help you. So one of the things I have is a model of letting them compare sounds if they're the same word. And you want to have, two little either tickets or toys, one's yes, one's no. But you can start, and I'm going to use Sheila Edmonds' book for even that. So for listening, you want to ask the child, are you saying the same word? You're going to go hat, hat. That's an obvious yes, right? What about man, man? That's an obvious yes too. So give some obvious yeses and then give some obvious no's, because eventually we're going to give some tricky no's. So an obvious no would be, what about tap and flag? Are those the same word? No. What about last and pal? Are those the same words? No. So when you want to do same words and different words, you'll eventually say, are pan and ran the same word? And the child should say no. Are pass and passed the same sounds? No. What about tab and tam? So you see how I'm changing an ending sound, and we want the child to differentiate. So I'm going to share with you, if you have a nonverbal child, I want you to move their hand on the yes or the no button that you have for them. You move their hand because you don't know what's in their brain. And we speak to our kids' spirits to be strong, to be smart. You are good. You are worthy. You are an achiever. You are smart, right? We speak to a child's spirit just as someone speaks to our spirit when they give us a compliment. That's building us because we are spirits, and this might be more of a faith-based comment, but we're spirits that live in a body and we have a mind. But I'm letting you know that when you speak to kids who are nonverbal, you never know what's going on in their heart, in their spirit, and in their mind. When kids are in a coma at the hospital, we want to keep talking to them and we want to encourage them. So let's do that with maybe some nonverbal kids you might have. So some of the things I'm doing with my preschoolers, helping them write, I'm always assessing to find out, do they know how to hold a pencil? And they don't. So let's teach them the right pencil grip. I have these fat pencils where you want their finger to be on top and you want the three small, your other three fingers under. Kind of reminds me of a chopstick, but you want them to hold it low enough to the bottom of the pencil, unless you have these short pencils, which I can't find in this fat range, but have them hold the pencil right. And we have large paper. This is cracking me up. I had a calendar that I just couldn't use last year, so I saved it. And take this kind of paper out. Go to Staples or your supply store and get some of the old calendars and use the paper. When I taught math, I had just purchased this sticky paper, and I knew not to throw it out because it would come in handy someplace. So I have that paper. And you can have your child go on the floor, start working on a letter, start with the letter P, or if they don't know their letter names and sounds, go ahead and start with A, B, C, D. Start at the beginning of the alphabet. So one thing I really love about Sheila's book is she starts with the letter A in all these words. So I'm going to show you different ways that we have the kids practice rhymes. So one of the ways we have kids practice rhymes, first of all, we teach them to hold their hand out, and we're going to say the word hat. We're going to go huh, at, hat. Say the word mat. At, mat. Say the word cat. K, at, cat. When you have these, the ending sounds are the same. That's a rhyme. When the beginning sound changes, then you know it's the rhyme because the ending matches. So the first rhyme, there's what did we say? 5 or 6 categorizations of teaching rhyming. So you'll want to change this up. You do what you can do. If you want to change one up a day, that'll be fine. If you want to follow the same pattern every week, change it up week to week, you do what's easier for you. And if what I shared today gives you 1 or 2 takeaways, do what you can, okay? Because whether you're homeschooling, whether you're helping that teacher out who needs help because you're at home and they're on Zoom, anything you do is going to help your child. So you can say the word hat. What rhymes with hat? Mat, cat, fat. Okay, say man. What rhymes with man? Tan, can. What rhymes with tap? Say tap. What rhymes with tap? Map, lap, sap. Say last. What rhymes with last? Past, fast. So when we're teaching reading to older students who have a little bit more phonemic awareness, we do other drills with this. We will substitute, the beginning letter sounds, and you'll have to see some of my other videos where I explain how I use sound circles and how I use plastic letters to substitute sounds. But right now, this is listening, okay? Well, actually, it's not listening, it's the rhyming side, but the kids aren't writing anything yet. So another rhyme categorization is what words do not rhyme. So do these words rhyme? Hat, mat. Yes, so I have, you can have little pictures you can draw of 2 sisters and a brother, or 2 cats and a dog. They're the same or they're not the same. You can hold up different things. What did we use? A cat and a dog, or a cat and a cat. So different and same. So are these different or same? Fan, man. So they're rhymes, but they're listening, but it's a rhyme skill. So those are different. Last, fast. Are those different or same? So those are different. What about ram, ran? Different, because the ending sound was different. What about pan, pat? Different, because their ending sound is different. So that's rhyme categorization. Then we have sound providing. Ask your child, what's the beginning sound in bag? See if they can say B. What's the beginning sound of gas? G. What's the beginning sound of ham? Huh. What's the beginning sound of pan? Puh. Okay, so we want kids to recognize beginning sounds Eventually they learn ending sounds, but let's work a little bit at a time. Now ask the student what they've heard at the end of the word. So what sound do you hear at the end of jam? What sound do you hear at the end of sat? What sound do you hear at the end of nap? Okay, so we're getting them to hear those sounds. So we're going to categorize. Do you hear, so the next sound categorization is, do you hear the sound in, okay? Do you hear the T in cat? Yes. Do you hear a B in Dan? No. So let them hold up their little card. No or yes. You make these little cards. If they're nonverbal, you want to help move their hand on a yes, on a no button. I worked with some today, and you could record what sounds are in the buttons. Do you hear the P in cap? Do you hear the in nap? So you'll see if your child knows those sounds and is hearing correctly. So another sound categorization. Which word begins with tap, with the T? Is it bat or tap? You see how fun these are? I just love these. Sheila Edmonds, you're amazing. So, you know, the child's going to know the second word begins with tap. And you could have them hold up this finger, or that finger. You know, have them demonstrate or repeat the word if they can repeat, if they can speak. If they can't speak, have them move their hand onto first or second, something like that. So, do you hear the K in gas or cap? Do you hear a T in tag or dad? Do you hear a S in van or sat? Okay, so they're going to pick the word that has that sound you're asking about. So now we have which word is the same at the which word has the same beginning sound as fan? Is it fat or van? So that could be tricky because they have to really be listening for you to be asking. The beginning sound is f, okay? Which word has the beginning sound of tan? Is it tab or can? Which word has the beginning sound of bag? Is it bat or dad? Which sound has the beginning sound of cat? Is it gas or cab? Okay, so you're going to be very creative. You're going to have colorful sticks, maybe popsicle sticks that they can hold up that have yes or no, Y or N. Okay, so now after the student has mastered those previous practices I gave you, you can give them something with 3 elements. So 3 choices. Pan. Now you pick what you want the child to say. So what has the beginning sound of pan? Is it man, pal, or tap? And they're going to be listening to that beginning sound of the second word. What has the beginning sound of cat? Is it gas, tam, or cab? So I'm going to be using these exercises with some of the students that I'm working with, and I'm working with very low students, not ready for grade level at all. A couple years, some of them haven't even had exposure to language, but instead of saying, I don't know what to do, I'm pulling these out and I'm teaching these sounds. And then I'm also So that's, you're going to pick one of those for warm up. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. There's another one. You're talking about the ending sound. Which word has the ending sound of tab? Is it ban or lab? What has the ending sound of Sam? Is it rat or ram? What has the ending sound of rag? Is it rag or rat? And then after students master those choices, use the list of words that has 3 words. So this is really amazing. There's a couple more of segmentation. There's something where we ask the student, so we're going to give a sentence. We're going to clap out the words in the sentence. The man ran fast, okay? The man ran fast. How many words are in that sentence? 4. So at this level, we're not having kids write sentences. We're just having them listen. How many words are in the sentence? The pan is hot. The pan is hot. How many words are in Tam has gum? Tam has gum. So you see, you're exposing them to vocabulary, which is what they need. And they're learning about sounds, that words are made of sounds. And then we talk about syllables. Picnic. So we're not going to say every sound in picnic. We're going to tap it out by syllable. Picnic. How many syllables? And I do this with my nonverbal kids. I say, I take their hand, picnic, 2 syllables. What about happen? Happen, 2 syllables. What about shoe? Shoe, 1 syllable. What about carpet? Carpet. So I'm holding their hand. Car or hands, carpet, 2 syllables. So what I love about Sheila's book is she goes through all the vowels. First she does the vowels, and then she does the CH and the WH and the SH. So as long as you're working with a child, you can go through that process. One thing that really got my attention when I was teaching math in middle school, I would see the educational therapist take my student out, go in their own room, and I would walk in there for whatever reason. And she was teaching language and sound, exactly what we're doing. And not only educational therapists, but speech therapists. So many of our jobs just interact, they intertwine. I don't know why education makes it so hard for staff to cross over to one field or the other when so much of what we do is so similar. One of the things we have to show the students, letters. Do they know these are letters? And when we eventually would teach them the letter name and sound, what I do is get, those number lines, 1 to 0, I get a number line it's an alphabet line, A to Z. And I'll point, if the child's nonverbal, I'll have them put their hand on the A, says A, B says B, C says K, D says D. And I'm having one parent get this at the 99-cent store, put this on your wall so your child can see it. So we want to let the students realize that I've got picture cards that go with my letters. I call these my key concept cards. This is a picture. This is a letter. This is a picture. This is a letter. So we want to bring out some phonogram cards. Let them see letters. Let them see pictures. Pictures only. Let them see pictures, because our pictures associate to the sounds they're learning. This is A for X. Anyway, I digress. That's something new. There's a lot that we can bring to our students who are non-readers. And my heart's really going out right now to the parents whose kids just didn't get any preschool help, and you just don't know what to do. Well, this is what you do, okay? You can also go to Staples and Office Max that has special alphabet pages where that lets your child trace the letters. And you can use crayons and trace. First they're dot to dots, and then they will make the shapes, and then they do it on their own. You can have them use the big paper that I showed you. One of the things I learned when I was working with Aspire, I used to train across the nation with them, and they had this red, yellow, green, and we would do the P, starts a line and a circle, a line and a circle. So I used to use sky, grass, dirt, which was, what best practice was doing when I started learning this over 20 years ago. So what one of the things I wanted to share with you of the list of other things you can do with your child. Get some puzzles. They've got beginner puzzles with shapes. They've got puzzles with categories like a farmhouse with farm animals, fruit. Get your child manipulating these shapes and putting them in the matching circles, the matching shapes. I even have a puzzle that's A to Z, and you take the A out, and when you put it back, it says A is for apple. Take the B out, when you put it back, it says B is for bug. And what picture do you think is on the back of that? A bug, bunch of bugs, or a bunch of apples. It's just, there's some amazing fun games out there. So get some puzzles. When the children can manipulate puzzles, you'll start seeing them accelerate. And we're talking about big wooden puzzles. And then you can move to the cardboard puzzles that have big, thick pieces of cardboard. Other things I'm doing. Okay, I said about that. Flannel boards. One of my videos, I'm going to give you some videos after this that'll link, but I talk about flannel boards with nursery rhymes, and I purchased some on eBay, and they're cute. Some people have spare time and they want to color these beautiful nursery rhymes. Jack and Jill went up the hill, Little Bo Peep, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Okay, these are visuals that we can put in front of our children, and just make your own flannel board, buy some black flannel, put it over a piece of cardboard, and it sticks. So I use this when I taught a special ed preschool. About 5 years ago, I taught a summer school, special ed preschool, and we use flannel boards. So, and I don't want to discount reading. Take out the books, take out nursery rhyme books, read to the children the nursery rhymes. And if you can sing it, sing. Let's revive a lost art of nursery rhymes. And it's really neat because when you're teaching what rhymes are, and then you're reading from a nursery rhyme book, they're making that connection. This is why we learn rhymes, well, other than to read. But I took out my Dr. Seuss books today and was reading from them. We all have our favorite Dr. Seuss books, or your favorite Clifford, the big red dog book. Take out some of these favorite books and give some time to reading. So if you can hold your child on your lap, that is ideal, because they love that physical connection. Put the book in front of them so you can show them how we read from left to right, how we flip our pages, and they could see the pictures as you see the pictures. Otherwise, you're going to read the book, turn it around, show them the picture. Read the story, show them the picture. There's so many different levels of reading to grow into, but this is a starting place. And if you're in a classroom, you can get those big books. Kids love the big books. You can have them come up and point to the person you're talking about in the story. And, it's neat. We just teach our kids. We don't color in these books. These are not coloring books. We take very special care of our books. So I hope this has given you some great tips. Think about doing one tomorrow and two the next day, picking up this book, Literacy Leaders, Phonological Awareness by Sheila Clark Edmonds. And I want you to like and comment on this. Let me know if it's been helpful. And if you're teaching in a different capacity of maybe an ed therapist, speech pathologist, let me know, because I'd love to know if these tips have helped you as well. I am a reading specialist. I've trained reading specialists who didn't even know some of these tricks. So I don't know how much training people are getting, but let's work all together. We're on the same team, helping our kids be literate. And I do have my own curriculum called Step-by-Step Reading. So I'm going to share that with you after this. So please like, comment, and if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you subscribe and share. Bye-bye now.